Good afternoon, guys. What's up? This is LaShawn. Real quick, I just want to go over my watch list real quick and write down some levels. Right here, we're looking at the dollar index. Today, we broke out of this descending trend line. This is also part of what looks like a channel. Oops. Duplicate drawing. However, as we most know, usually the third touch creates a false breakout, so we need to watch out for that. However, price shouldn't come below this line. I believe that this line also is the 23.6% retracement of the entire or of the decline starting from January. And it is. All right. So we shouldn't go back below this low. If we do go back below this low, then we can expect the test of this low and this low. However, right now, I'm going to be expecting targets of this high. Oops. And this high. And if we can get above 91, if you can look at all the fractals, we have a high here, a high here, a high here, a high here. Price couldn't get back above this high, so this high is the most important high. So if we get back above this high, we are considered, I would say, we have. It's really hard to negotiate that. I'm gonna say that we're gonna be in a new upswing. However, we would have to get above the 200 moving average and the 23.6% retracement of the entire decline that started at the beginning of 2000 or at the end of 2016. All right. So in the near term, though, this high, 92 are my next targets for that. All right, next is Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin dropped down into bat pattern support, the 88.6%. It's a lot easier to tell on TradingView. I don't have much data coming from the Chicago Board of Exchange. And right now, we are headed to test this pivot point right here. If we can get above this pivot point, we can expect a test of this high and then this high right here. All right. Now, I'm still bearish this, and I will not be bullish until we can get above, this high right here at 9,000. There's a lot of little things right here I'm noticing. Sometimes I go down to like a 30-second chart, and then I start charting stuff, and then there's little lines everywhere. All right. Oil. So oil had that big drop off yesterday that kind of scared everybody. It kind of dropped right into our 100% extension of the first rally. So if we do it like this, that's where we dropped into. We haven't quite tested it yet, so I'm expecting a test of that line actually within the next few days. But judging by the way it is, it's probably just going to blast right through it. My bad. Remove. And if we fall below that and this pivot point, I'm going to expect a test of this low and this low. However, I am not going to be bearish until we can get below 57. Completely bearish. It can still range within this area before heading higher. However, the commitment of traders data says that hedge funds are or the commercials are extremely bearish. I believe it's the most they've been in almost like 5 years or so. So I would be wary of any longs from right here. Also, if you notice, we couldn't on this rally right here. So we hit a high of 67. We dropped impulsively, and then we came back up, and we couldn't make a new high, and we're dropping again. So I'm more biased bearish. However, I'm forced to be bullish because we are still in an uptrend. All right. Let's go to S&P 500. So the S&P 500 closed right back up above the 200 moving average and right back into no man's territory. This right here is still nice sideways corrective price action. If I go down to a lower time frame, I can probably draw a nice channel. And that does not look good at all, so I'm going to take it off. All right, so I am still boom, perfect, cool. I'm bearish until we get a daily close above 2613. 1 second. This is really confusing. It's gonna diddle daddle around the 200 moving average like it has in the past. It likes to diddle and daddle there. Diddle daddle, diddle daddle, diddle daddle, you know. So I'm gonna expect that to happen here, and I'm gonna keep my original number at 2655. As long as we're below this, I'm gonna be bearish, and I'm going to be selling rallies. The downside targets, if we can get back below the today's low, this is an inside candle, so watch out. So we would have to close back below the daily 200 moving average to target these lows, and then to target the previous targets outlined before. All right, let's go over gold. So real quick, gold. So gold is headed toward that big 1370 level. It sounds like a really good breakout. However, I'm still not going to be convinced until we can break out of this high right here. It seems like price hasn't been able to completely test it, and every high has been lower and lower and lower. So even if we were to break out up above 1370, I would be wary of any false breakout pretty much in this zone right here. I'm going to call no man's land. And then if we can get above 1390, I'm going to definitely load up. The NASDAQ. So what caused the bullishness on the NASDAQ earlier is that we created an equal measure move right into support from this wave all the way down. So right now we're having trouble breaking this 63.44 level, and if we get below that 63.44, we're definitely going further down. However, it is creating a nice decent bounce, and I'm going to be bullish above 65.37, and that would be counter trend until we can get back up to new highs. All right, silver. So let's go to silver. Silver still in the sideways corrective range. I'm not doing anything until we're above at least 17 or below 16. 10-year yields. 10-year yields, it's creating a nice rounded bottom. I really like the yields because they tend to turn around really nicely, really slow, methodical. It's pretty easy to tell whenever they turn around. So we've obviously turned around right here, and we are within two different ranges. We are still within this longer term range, which places our first target up here at 163 and 163.08, and see if that matches up. And that's also the 50% of this rally, and it's also these pivot points right here. I really like that. So 163.08 is the next upside. If I were to get into this, how would I get into this? It's probably a little bit too late right now for me to get into it. I'm gonna need a pullback. These wicks right here. So this whole area right here, it's gonna be my pullback zone, and I'm gonna try to get into this within that zone. If I can, if it goes down there and it starts to turn back up, and I'll target 163.08 and then maybe 164. I really like this area. It's respecting the fibs really well, so I'm pretty confident in this. All right, let's go to the Aussie dollar. So yesterday the Aussie went to test the lows, and then the RBA didn't say anything bad enough to get the Aussie to dip even further. So we actually created a nice rally, and we still stayed within the normal range that we've been in, and we are now creating another significant high. So as long as we stay below 77.06, we're still going to be bearish, but above that, and I would say 77.50 to 78, this area will be our turnaround zone. And if we can get to 78 and test the 200 moving average, we can reevaluate whether we're going to be bullish or bearish at that point. I would automatically be forced to go bullish. Yeah, above that 77.50 level. However, there's a lot of upside resistance, so we'll be testing the 78.13 level and each one of these highs, these significant highs. All right. Sorry, guys. I have a freaking cold. All right. Cool. So those are our levels of significance on AUD USD. All right. Euro USD. Euro USD broke down from the 3-bar coil that we had yesterday. And now we can expect lower prices to test this low, and eventually our bull bear line at 120.31. If we get below 120.31, we can target 117.07. However, if we stay up here, it's sideways, it's choppy. However, we're still headed down. So 120.31 is going to be a big deal level, I'd say. And yeah, let's see if we can get down there. What would invalidate this move is right back above 23.45. Pound USD. Pound USD is still in a coil. As long as we stay within the 140.90 and 140 range, we are still going to be considered bullish. However, if we do break below these lows right here, it'll most likely be a significant breakout, and we can target, well, I'm going to target this low right here, and then ultimately the bottom of this range. Our bull bear line right here is at 137.56. You see how we haven't been able to close underneath it yet. So if we close underneath it on any candle, if it does come down here, then I am going to be selling the crap out of the pound. However, I don't know the fundamentals of it. I'm just going by the technical. So right now it's just sideways after failing to make a new high. NZD USD. So NZD currently sideways in a larger range. Created a nice rally, broke above this high after being inside a 3-bar coil. Usually with these, you can consider it a trend continuation. However, we have this longer term downtrend as resistance. So I'm not going to be buying anything until we can pop our hit above that. And if we can pop our hit above that, I think we'll target the highs again. Well, first, of course, we're going to be targeting the consolidation highs. So we'll target this high, then this high, then this high. But ultimately, I would like to see another tag of 75.35, if that's possible. However, if even if it goes in between one of these, you know, that's good enough to get paid. USD CAD, USD CAD did break down today. It did, I believe, close lower than the low over here, or did not. Ooh, we failed to close lower than that low. However, I still think that we are headed lower. We did have this 3 or 4 bar coil right here, and we broke out of it significantly, and we also created a new low past this low. So the next place that we're going to be going to is our bull bear line at 26.81. This is part of the. This is part of this one. 1 second. Let me make another one. I believe it's the same line, as a matter of fact. So, no, we've created a trend reversal. We've created a trend reversal today after breaking out from this. And we can target the backside of the 23.6% retracement and the daily 200 moving average at 26.81. And if we can get below that, then we'll be targeting this low. Oh, I'm sorry. This low. This low. And a test of the multi-year trend line. Pound CHF. Pound CHF, just like the dollar index, broke out of its coil, and now it is above the 23.6% retracement of, sometimes I have to go back and check it out, of the all-time low to the high in 2016, I'm sorry. And we finally got above it. Now, the Swissy it likes to chop back and forth each day, so I'm not going to expect anything to happen within the next day or two. However, we do have an invalidation level. An invalidation level is the 95.70 level because, as you can see, it's created a few false breakouts, but well, this one is one that would have gotten a lot of people stuck. However, if we look at it, it usually goes through it and continues. It'll go through it and then continue. Go through it. Well, this one kind of didn't continue, but you guys get the picture. It just likes to not close below it. So if it's a false breakout, I expect it to come right back down. However, we're still bullish the dollar, so it might not happen. And then United States dollar versus the Japanese yen. We created a nice move downwards right into support. I believe that is the 50% of this rally right here. And we are right back above the 23.6% retracement of this tiny rally right here, which is good. So I'm gonna try to get into this, but I'm gonna wait till it breaks above this high. So if it can break and close above this high, I would say like on an intraday basis, maybe a 4-hour or 1 hour, then I'm gonna buy it, and then I'm gonna be targeting this is the reversal high. This is the most significant high that it couldn't get back above. And if it can get above this, I'm definitely gonna be targeting minimum 107. 110.63. So we have this high to contend with, and then we're gonna test this high, and then I'm gonna target this high. Let's see if that is part of anything. Is that the... So, and let me, from this high, So this, of course, is a congestion zone, obviously. It's respecting both of the fibs. So most likely 112.56 ultimately. It seems like it wants to. It seems like that's a good price. Let me see if. Yeah. So oops. Damn, it's one of those days. Sweet. All right, cool. So above that high, I'm targeting these blue lines. You guys have a good day. I am going to get off the charts for the night. Hope to see you guys in the morning during New York session. Late.